He had a very animated dog inside. There was going. Hey guys, it's Cap with a difference. Yeah. Look at my super chunky weird hand. Hey, wow. For those who know me, I've got a pretty skinny hand. I've got pretty skinny limbs in general, but I've developed a boxing glove. But hey, my fingers are working. They weren't. Look, I've had an operation. I've had some surgery to my elbow. I've got a very fetching, huge bandage going all the way down my arm. Yeah, it's not the greatest. Let's get out of the house and have a chat, huh? Demoralising. Oh dear, I didn't think about climbing over this. That was a piece of cake. I like the rest of life at the moment. Another obstacle. Hold on. Easy peasy. Look at that. I do love living in the countryside. 32 degrees Celsius. What's that in real money for you Americans? Like 90 Fahrenheit? 90 Fahrenheit in our sweaty little island. Harvest is done. Isn't that pretty? Everything's been torn up, sent packing. Very dry. Anyway, going back to boring old me. And by the way, it's not going to be too much. I mean, this is good scenery, right? But there's not going to be too much else to look at today because I can't do much. I can walk. That's about it. Highlight of my day, most overachieved thing I did today, put my watch on. Okay? Well, what I've managed to do over the years of having a heavy lifting job, 20 plus years, is to tear the tendons. I've got tennis elbow in one elbow and golfer's elbow in the other. It just means which side of the arm you're getting the pain from. And on my right hand, which is my predominant hand, I tore the tendon high up, about 40% tear in the muscle, which meant that it really couldn't be repaired. So the only thing to do was to cut the bad bit away, stretch the tendon like a big elastic band and stitch it back on higher up. Ah, nasty. But that's what they've done. First day I had no feeling whatsoever because they put a nerve blocker into your neck, so it stops any pain running down into the area which they're trying to knock out, which worked perfectly. Except when I woke up, my fingers were working a little bit. I could move 2 or 3 of my fingers and I thought, oh brilliant, you know, I'm in a sling, I won't move my arm. I get it, that's fine. But then during my sort of when I left the hospital, my hand stopped working completely. So I went nearly 24 hours with paralysis in my hand, and paralysis is the weirdest feeling. So you're staring at something like you know your hand, and you're saying, "Move your finger, boy." You know, move. Nothing. So the paralysis went on for a good day or so, and it's scary. No one wants paralysis. It's not fun. But the following morning. So it was less than a day, because the following morning I started to get some movement back in my finger, and by the end of that day I could actually hold a controller, like use a TV controller. And I thought I'd try and hold a gamepad. I'm really into my games, so playing my Switch and stuff, which is a really small controller, shouldn't have any trouble with that. But I could barely rotate the thing, I could barely move it, so I realised quite quickly that that's not an option either. So TV it is. And luckily I'm a big film fan, I like my series, and I've got a lot of media to catch up on. I've watched a lot of stuff, because that's kind of all I can do. But more importantly, and on a serious note, I felt some depression yesterday. I get depressed anyway. I suffer from anxiety and depression. I have since I was in my early 20s, when I was at university. And it's a brave subject to talk about, and I think people should be open about these things. You end up kind of getting a bit either self-indulged if you have a psychological problem, go on about yourself too much, or you don't talk about yourself at all. I guess I'm a bit self-enclosed and don't really want to talk about things too often, because I always look on the brighter side of life. I always am a pint is always half full. Pint of lemonade, you know, don't drink, pretty much teetotal, pint of Coke, whatever. But you need to look on the bright side of life. You need to keep your activities up. You need to enjoy what you do in life. And if you don't have those things, because you don't have an arm that works, for example, like me, then it's pretty nasty, and your brain quite quickly goes into a state of, could this be forever? Am I going to change in the way I feel? And how long am I going to feel like this? You know, you go a bit crazy in your head because you suddenly can't do what you want to do and everything's changed. So suddenly losing the ability to use my hand meant no guitar, no games, just struggling with everything. Can't cook, I can't open jars, I can't use my hand to cut food. If you're right-handed, or left-handed I guess, use your other hand for 1 hour and see how you get on. Let's see how you deal with it, because it is so difficult. And if you don't have a choice, that's the worst part. It's not like you can go back to using the hand that works and get on with it. Can you hear that? It's a bit loud, isn't it? Look at this. You can go away now, I've had enough of you. There's a combine harvester back there. Let's go and find it. And living on the flight path of Stansted Airport, which we literally are. Our town of Thaxted is on the flight path. Just feel like you're on a bombing run continually. But yeah, depression, pretty brave subject to talk about. Something I've lived with for a long time, and you get anxious about things that most people don't. You know, about things like disturbances, noise, about things that trigger you and sit in your brain, and that's all you can think about is, when am I going to feel like that next? When am I going to feel like that next? So being active and having a lot of hobbies, particularly sport, is so important to me. And when that's taken away from you because of this, that's pretty rough. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that feel exactly the same, and you need to find what's best for you. You know, you should never be judged from other people saying, you know, you're crazy, or stop thinking about that. Someone being told not what to think about when that's all they think about and they can't control it is the worst thing to hear. You know, if you don't suffer from things like that, you're never going to feel, I guess, the same pain and understand it. So in some ways, like, everyone should have a little dose of feeling really down, because it brings you back to reality quite quickly. What's important and how lucky you are that if you feel on top of things most of the time, then that's great. Good on you, lucky you. But the general consensus is, with people that struggle, it's pretty much there forever. You can deal with it and you can crack on with it, but it's quite important, I guess, that people around you know how you feel. You know, if you take medication or if you rely on things to do in your life that make you feel better, then that's massively important, because those people can help you still get hold of what you need when you're poorly, like I am right now. You know, I'm not going to be lifting weights anytime soon. I'm not going to be doing 100-meter sprints. I'm really athletic. I love my music, but it's like an addiction. Anyway, we crack on and we enjoy scenes like this. That combine is in that field across there, and there's a footpath through that field. I think I'm going to brave it, go for it, and try and get some images, try and get some footage. Can't miss that trail, can you? Look at this. Alright, we mean business now. Let's get down and dirty. Not run over. The combine's over here somewhere. Look at that, this is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I've been sleeping really badly because of the pain in the arm. See, 1 minute it's like high in my upper arm near my shoulder, sort of between my shoulder and my elbow, and then it's down where the stitches are. And I woke up in basically a pool of blood, moved over to the other side of the bed well, I thought I'd sat on a strawberry or something. I thought I'd crushed something, and it wasn't. It was blood that had, obviously, I'd been lying on my elbow, and it had completely gone through my mattress, through my mattress protector, through the mattress protector, on top of the mattress protector, into the memory foam, and completely stained my bed. I'm sitting there dealing with this murder scene, and blood is something else, because if you put your hand in it, it just stains everything that you touch, and I can't hold my own body weight up, so I'm trying to hold myself onto my bed while I'm cleaning up this mess that's around me, and I can't do it because blood's just going everywhere. So I ended up stripping everything off and completely, I'll spare you the photographs, I mean, you can see them if you want, but I don't think think there'll be any requests in the comments to see them. It's crazy how just talking to a camera can make you feel better. It's mad, really. Just letting out some emotions. And the whole world, you know, well, it's not going to, the whole world ain't going to see this. But it could be. You never know, years to come. But yeah, talking about your feelings and how fragile you are as a human being, it's not something to be ashamed of. I think we're going to jump out of the way. We'll jump up on this hedgerow up the top here to avoid him and film this. Check it out. Jump into these bushes here. Probably not going to be too happy if I'm too close to him. He's coming. He's behind the hedgerow. I should say you can see him. The Hillmaster T67i. He's got a dog inside. Yeah, he's whooping. Hello, mate. Hello, Snips. Look at that. Oh, he's whooping. Wow. Look at that. Oh, to live in the country, hey. Give him a little wave. You gave me the old finger up. Look at the destruction. He had a very animated dog inside. There was going. I think he was smiling, I couldn't tell, but the farmer gave me the finger of happiness and to say, appreciate you getting out of my way and not becoming a insurance statistic and making my corn all bloody. You know, that's proper cheered me up, that has. Bit of action in my life. Most action I saw was under the knife and I was fast asleep. This is the old dirt road which would connect Thaxted. If you go down that way, you can't really see too much of it because it's just shrubbery now. But you head down that way, you see the old tarmac that was down, it's all fallen to pieces under your feet. But it went all the way up here through this very sweet footpath up to our old First World War airfield. Let's head up there. Look at this though. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to feel better today. Oh, yeah, didn't really think that through, did I? Got half a cornfield on me. Come on, old hand. Old boxing glove. Work. Look at that. Yes. Yeah, you can move. You can move. No, that's about it. Look at this blot on our landscape. We had these solar panels put up years ago in and around the area. They must take up acres and acres and acres now. But it's good for the environment. I've got solar panels on the house, so this type of weather is brilliant. If you're at home, unfortunately my energy that's not used goes back to the government, makes them a bit of spare cash, but then I did get some free panels on the house. So if I'm at home and I'm running the cooker, the iron, anything that takes a lot of power, generally it's free. What is that little thing? You know, I definitely half expect that to start shouting at me. The PID. It's chained up. I mean, who's going to run off with that? But yeah, I've got 4 games lined up for Norwich. I'm going to start definitely doing some vlogging content for that because I've vlogged and recorded the matchday experience. Not matchday experience, no, get that right, Sam. The tour. So yeah, got the 4 Norwich games lined up, all 4 with Robin. Debs can't make one of them, but that's a good start to the season. So 1 friendly, 1 League Cup, 1 away game, 1 home game, 1 league home game. None of which I can drive to, and I do all the driving for us lot. So that's going to be a bit weird. I'll probably be a bit of a backseat driver, one of these guys. It's like, you're too close. Back off. Get away from that guy. Get over more, you're in the wrong lane. You know, that kind of dude. I'll try and keep my mouth shut. Maybe I'll try and sleep. By the way, the best thing about having solar panel, well, no, the best thing is that you get energy provided and you don't have to burn coal and destroy the atmosphere for it. But the best thing is that when the lease is up, still see the combine. When the lease is up for all of this stuff, you can just tear it down and either build more or keep them going or build houses. At least we haven't got put up with tons and tons of houses. You can see how far we are from Thaxted. Yeah, you wouldn't want to live up here really. I'm sitting at home, I was having all these bright ideas of what I could do. You know, what can I vlog? What can you vlog if you can't get out of the house, right? Well, luckily I've got quite a collection of stuff. Lots of stuff. Got loads of games, physical media, things like that. Got my guitars. I can definitely demonstrate and show some of that stuff off. If anyone cares, that's another question, right? I don't think you should care. If no one cares, well, no, never mind. They don't like what you like. That's not a problem. But definitely should be showing off my games collection. I've got an incredible amount of only stuff that I want to buy. A lot of these people that collect games, they just buy stuff just because they need the expensive Holy Grail or whatever. I don't really believe any of that. It's nice to own that £3,000 copy of whatever Japanese game that you've never heard of, that you know you're never going to play, is floating around in your collection because it makes you feel elite and better than everyone else. It's all BS. Just collect what you like, buy what you like, play what you can and enjoy it. But I'd love to demonstrate and show you guys my collection, which I think I will, but I've only got one hand. I'm glad my legs are still working and my arm's pretty good. I've hung it in the sling all this time, but in here somewhere, I forget how far up it is, should be a plaque. Here we go. Found it. Deep within the shrubs now. Here we go. In memory of Thaxted Airfield, opened December 1916 and it closed 3 years later. It's dedicated to all units and personnel that were based here. Airfields of Britain Conservation Trust. www.abct.org.uk if you want to check it out. So this is a working airfield for 3 years up here. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? It's a very vague plaque. There's not much information to it. I just remember when they put it up about 10 years ago and thinking, wow, I didn't know this was an airfield. And being so far from the town, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise when that was erected. Yep, decided this way. Screw it, if my arm bleeds later, whatever. I'll go back and get it redressed, I hope. Won't have to. I once came through here and there was a ton of sheep. I could hear very quiet. It was a bit spooky because it's the middle of the winter. It was a bit grey and wet, and I'd never seen sheep in a forest. But they'd escaped from the other side, popped through a little electric fence. I guess most people would find what, like a beehive or a wild boar, maybe some deer. Yeah, you don't often find sheep in the wood. Most evil thing when you were a kid. Look, imagine falling into these bad boys in your youth. Yeah, it's going to hurt for a while. Topic of quiz for this video then. Would you rather get stung by a bunch of stinging nettles or shredded up by brambles? I know which I'd prefer. Brambles. I hate stinging nettles. Robin Hood riding through the glen, Robin Hood with his band of men, feared by the bad, loved by the good. Don't care what people think, people. Just get on with your lives. Yes, look at that. All right, children of the corn. I love my horror. Look at that. Autumn is coming. Sweet corn, maize. Ooh, cosy treats, pumpkins. Oh my God, I'm feeling better today. I was like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon yesterday. What a difference a day makes. Remember the start of that? He's had enough. He don't want to crack on with his life. His wife's gone. Yeah, let's not get down and dirty, but yeah, you don't want to get like that. Just get out and get some fresh air. Start talking. That helps. I found civilization. At least a road. Found some tarmac. Let's see where it leads. Okay, it definitely leads somewhere. Yeah. I guess it's going to be a while. I'm not in a hurry. Got 4 weeks to get back and get back to work. It's one of these roads that doesn't have a footpath, so you give that kind of nod when someone drives past and gets out of your way. It's polite, very English. Just heard rummaging, just think I saw a rat rummaged off. Dead Coke can, some action. I'll tell you what, anyone that wants blackberries for their blackberry pie, get up here, get up the road between Little Sandford and Thaxted, park up anywhere you want. You'll be able to get tons soon. You can see them just sprouting up. Yep, sounds about right. Yesterday anyway. Then just chucking yourself off a building because it's so boring, nothing to do. I shouldn't joke about that. Life's not easy for everyone, for anyone. But you need to reach out, you got to talk to someone. Don't get stuck indoors for too long. Whatever your trigger is, don't stick around it, get away from it. Move on, get your brain elsewhere. We got a jumbo! 747 Cargo Lux. I am regretting not bringing a drink with me. At least I sweat it all out, that's a good thing, huh? And I thought this would be really, really hard to use the gimbal with my left hand. I can't use it with my right, so I've got no choice, but it's easier than I thought. Peace. See, look at that, 1 month from now. That's your whole pie catered for. This is for sale, hey? Look at that. Fancy it? If you do, let Daniel Brewer know. Love these two properties that they built. Look at these, man. I mean, that is goals, isn't it?
So you're not... Hey,
hello.
Darling, how's it going?
Getting out before it's too hot.
You're well with.
We've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've got Leatherface in the woods over there. I just bumped into two friends. That's wonderful. Just said hello. They didn't want to be on camera. We've got a little sneaky shot of them earlier, but yeah, she's lovely. I've known her since my son was tiny, and they're off doing their own thing, boot camping and walking dogs for 3 miles before doing a run in 30-degree heat. Good effort. Got Gunnar Hansen over there giving it large. Hope he's not got a victim. This used to just be a scrappy old bit of land. Now, someone's purchased it. Got some caravans in it at the moment. Got some static homes. Put a bit of creosote on the fence. Actually looks better than it was. Honestly, I've been so bored just sitting around watching things. I guess that would be some people's dream, just to sit there and just enjoy Netflix, the whole catalogue. But I'm contemplating just going over to the airport, literally just document and walk around the airport to show you all of that as well. But we'll see what happens. Hello. Thinking I could just turn up on the bus, hop off, go and check out what's going on at the airport. Won't get into duty free or anything, can't buy any cheap smellies or anything like that, but we can at least go around and see people and show you what goes on over there at the UK's 3rd busiest airport. About 7 miles, right over there. You might be still hear Leatherface. Over there is the terminal building. But I tell you what, for 32-degree heat or whatever it's supposed to be today, there's a lot of activity. We've got some telecommunications going in down there. I'll get my new broadband next week. I cannot wait. I've been stuck on about 35 gigabit. Gigabit? Is that right? I don't know. Megabit. 35 megabit broadband speed, so pathetic. And now I'm getting 900. I can go to the moon on that, can't I? If you do like the content that I'm bringing you, yeah, if you could just give it a little thumbs up, that'd be awesome. Thank you. And if you fancy seeing a bit more, want to keep in contact with it all, just hit subscribe. Anyway guys, I'm going to wrap the video up here because last 5 minutes, get a little tiny bit of time just for me. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Oh, boot sale. Check it out, locals. Saxon Wreck Ground this Sunday. Get up there, bargains. Need every little bit of love I can. So yeah, anyway guys, onwards, upwards, always. Bit slow for me, but I'm getting there. See you soon.